anyway, it's a lovely rainy day, and we're all like, oh, that's great. When can we go somewhere sunny, please? That would be nice. And I've just heard from a friend who sold their business last year, and they were retiring, although her husband was the chairman of the cricket group, the cricket club. So he was like, oh, I'm going to sort out all the issues the cricket club has. And I'm like, you are going on holiday because you've now retired and sold your business. And he's like, oh yeah, maybe next July. And I've just heard back from her that she's actually in Thailand right now. So I'm very happy that she dragged him away from the cricket club and solving those issues, because that sounds even more thankless than dealing with golf club issues, to be honest. So, right. I don't have, well, I've got horror stories. Okay, so horror stories, and please don't do this, is if you have any of your members of staff who have a blazing row with each other and then one of them storms out, unauthorized absence, okay, just being very formal about it, you need to tell us straight away so that we can investigate and deal with that situation, even if it's just an advisory note to say, please don't do that again. There's no point doing that a month later, okay? If you've had somebody, and this is, I'm not sure, I think I may have mentioned this last week, if your chef is calling, or anybody in management for that matter, is calling your under 18 workers sexualized names such as chlamydia, that is gross misconduct. That is not banter. How is it funny? I'm going to say we've done all the investigations and the defense is, well, it's just a joke. How is it a joke? Tell me what's funny about it. Oh, well, you know, it's just a nickname. It's like, no, and it turns out it's because the boy was going out with a girl that the chef didn't like in year 8. The boy is no longer in year 8. And so they're calling the boy a name because they don't like the fact that he went out with this other girl, even though this other girl is now friends with the chef's daughter. And it's like, this, oh my God, this is awful. Okay. This is awful. And then it turns out when we start doing that actually the chef has also flicked hot barbecue sauce at staff to get them to shut up, which landed on their face, and has been drinking on duty. So we had some of these were rumors. It's like, were you drinking on duty? And in the investigation, she's like, yes, I did. Oh, because it was really stressful on that day. But there's no, what is interesting, which is why we added theft to the allegations, is there's no, oh, yes, I did, but I did pay for it. No paying for it. And also, oh, but we always drink at the end of every shift anyway. Okay, who's paying for all those drinks at the end of every shift? And how many drinks are they? And is this everybody free of charge? And what's going on? And it's just an absolute nightmare. And then one of the witnesses, I think I did mention this one, I was coming back as a déjà vu, went down into the basement and apparently the beer barrel fell on her toe and broke her toe. And she'd been off for 14 days, but it hadn't been reported under RIDDOR. And it was just all to the insurance company as a potential personal injury claim. And this is all in one club in December. Actually, for 3 weeks in December. It's like, okay, you know what? You don't have to keep them. As soon as something happens, ring me. Just ring me. You've got your telephone is included on your package. Just ring me and say, this has happened. What do I do? And I will tell you, because you haven't got anything new particularly. But luckily, the person involved in the big thing with the chlamydia has now resigned with immediate effect. So we don't have to do disciplinary anymore. What a shame. Never mind. So there you go. So what questions does everybody have, if anything? I'm sure Melanie Pointer's got something for me. Hi, Mel. Haven't seen you for ages.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I've been busy birthdaying.
Oh, nice.
Big birthdaying. Oh, nasty. Ooh. Anyway, so my question is, because things are changing a lot in HR this year particularly,
yep.
Are fixed contracts still a thing? Yes. And do they work the same way as they did? That's part yes. A. Part yep. B is, if somebody is working for you on a full contract at the moment, but has asked you if they can become sponsored, but you're obviously a bit reticent because that's a bit of a hoo-ha, can you sponsor them, but on a fixed contract? So it's like, it's not something you have to tie yourself into 3 years, whatever. You could say, right, well, I can offer you a 6-month sponsored contract or something like that. Or does that not happen?
I don't think that works. I don't know the rules around sponsorship enough, but I can't imagine that is a possibility. It's that you're supposed to have a sort of permanent contract, I would imagine, for the 3 years, or at least the intention of keeping them on for 3 years. Because once you don't sponsor them anymore, i.e. after that, 6 months, then they'd have to find somebody else to sponsor them. So it's
well, at the moment they're in that position because they're not sponsored with me, so they've got an ongoing contract, but their current visa ends at the end of this year, or September of this year. So they're now asking me, they want to stay with me, so they want me to sponsor them. But that means, I don't know, maybe it's psychological, but I just feel that quite trapped. I don't know if that's the truth.
Yeah, I would feel trapped as well. And I think it is because it's not that easy to get out of that sponsorship thing. Yes, their visa expires, but they're already working for you. I'm going to say it would be worth going and checking how easy that is, because we don't unfortunately get involved with those. But I would be cautious about, I don't think you'd be able to do a fixed term, because how long have you had them with you anyway?
So he would have been with me nearly a year, I guess.
Now or in September?
Probably in September. Yeah, I think he's been with me he hasn't quite done 6 months.
Right. Okay. So, yeah. And the other thing we don't know, which it may well make this more difficult, is the 2 year able to fire them under 2 years is going to change in 2027. We don't know exactly when. We don't know whether it's going to apply to everybody you have on your books at that point, which is unlikely, but it's, they could, or whether it's all staff that are employed from the 1st of the 1st, 2027, that type of thing, like they did with the 2 years and the 1 year. So you just got to bear that in mind, that there will be changes there that might affect that sponsorship.
So if they did the changes for the 2 year rule, they're not retrospective. They're just from when the person starts. So if someone starts before they change the rules, the 2 year thing still applies to someone who started before the change of legislation, or do they then move on to that legislation because it's changed?
And that is the bit we don't know. We don't know. We don't have the definition from the government yet as to who has protection when. Now, it is quite likely that they say everybody from, I'm going to say it's usually April, they change it, from the 1st of April 2027 is protected after 6 months. So, sorry, everybody who starts from the 1st of the 1st. Okay, because back in 2012, when they changed it from 1 year's protection, or removing the 1 year protection to making it 2 years, it was you had to start after a certain date for that to apply. And it may well be that they do that, but they haven't defined it yet. That's the problem.
But the 2 year rule, as stands, doesn't apply to sponsored, or does it?
Well, yeah, you could, in as much as you can part company with an employee under 2 years and say it's not working out. I don't know how that affects their visa, but under employment law, it would still be the same that you could part company.
Because I think that's the thing is, unless you can direct me somewhere, because I keep thinking it's like if you sponsor somebody, I mean, I've got one sponsored person anyway, but if you sponsor somebody, it's like you've got a whole different set of rules, but maybe you haven't. I mean, maybe it's just employment law, but more, I don't know.
I don't know the sponsorship rules at all. I'm really sorry, Mel. You'd have to go and look. Yeah.
But from an HR perspective, obviously, I could just sponsor it. I mean, I think you can sponsor for a year. So maybe that'd be the thing. I just said, I'm going to sponsor you for a year, which is like a fixed contract, and go from there. Yeah,
and then we're keeping an eye on the legislation anyway. I mean, I know it feels like we've had a whole month of January already with the amount of things that have been going on. It certainly feels like it here. But actually, they've got change. The government has changes coming in, not to the 2 year rule, but as we go through, that will be more clearly defined with loopholes and challenges and So we'll then be able to say, okay, yes, have the extra year, but you need to make sure that you can terminate at this stage so that they don't go over the 2 years, that type of thing.
Yeah. So is there some way you'd say as a resource for me to find that out, like about sponsorship stuff?
I would be just going to the Home Office. I don't get involved at all. Sorry.
Okay, no worries. Thank you.
Okay. Dawn, have you got a question?
No, I can't think of any at the moment. I'm sure
That's
something
good.
will come up. I know I had lots of issues again just before Christmas.
Yes.
In one particular hotel, but hopefully we've calmed lots of things down.
Yes. Yes.
Fingers crossed. Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. Natalie, nice to see you. Have you got any questions, or are they all behaving themselves? That's excellent. Long may that continue. That's good. And Steve, you're back from Spain. You don't look very brown for being back from Spain, I'm going to say.
Well, it's probably because the weather was, well, for there, lousy. 16 degrees during the day, 8 to 10 at night. Christmas Day, it poured with rain for 12 hours. So my sister told me it was only the second time in 37 years.
And you're like, well, that's all my fault. I'm a weather god. That's why I got the water. Yeah,
well, there you go. But now I'm not bothered because I'm semi-retired now. I've stepped down as county sec.
Ah, okay.
And I'm doing handover to Carolyne, who was my number two, who's taken over. I was hoping she'd jump in on this as well, but she's had to go out for 20 minutes.
Okay.
So the next Thursdays, I'll come back on and introduce her, and then say my goodbyes, because that'll be my last one. Because then I'll retire at the end of March fully. Yes. In June, I'll be off to live in Spain.
I was going to say, you could just put a picture of the sunshine and the sea up for us.
Oh, yeah. Don't worry. I've got your email address. I'll send you some pics.
That's lovely.
Lying by the pool with a cold beer and that sort of thing.
Oh, yeah. That sounds great. Yes.
It'll be night there. No, but it's come up pretty fast, but yeah.
Yes. Happy. No, that all sounds good. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what we aim for, isn't it? It's like if we actually get to retirement. Yeah,
but I've said to Carolyne, these are good to sit in on. Because you get some really good info from them. But like I say, it was just unfortunate she's had to pop out.
Yeah.
But I've been delegated a new desk in the corner, so I'm going to get a dunce's cap.
Yes, exactly. Well, if you send us her email address, we can put her on the invite thing, and then she can do that. That would be fine.
Yeah.
Lovely. Good. Okay. Oh, it's going to be sorry to see you go, but well done. Congratulations for getting there. That's, got a few years yet to go, unfortunately. It's like, because I had the hip replacement at the beginning of December. I had sort of December off. I'm going to say that it was really nice. I mean, I know I was in a little bit of pain, but only a little bit, because they do this. The operation is really good now. And I'm like, how much more do I need to put in my pension to live like this and not have to work? Unfortunately, the answer is quite a lot more. So it's fine. We're on track, but it's not on track any sooner. If the government could just let me put a bit more in my pension, that'd be lovely. But government, anyway.
Oh yes.
Anyway,
it's been lovely.
That's good. Thank you, Steve. Melanie Drake, how are things with you?
Good, thank you.
Is it pouring down with rain there as well?
Pardon? It's what?
Is it pouring down with rain there as well?
Oh yeah, definitely. I did like the comment about somebody who's having a bad day or it wasn't going so well, and they then decided that they were going to have a drink. Should we all just take that?
Yes,
that line. Fantastic.
And I mean, actually, that's not even the worst. I mean, now you have a drink, okay, I can almost get that. If you're on your break, you could possibly get away with it as long as you pay for it. But if you don't do it on your break and you don't pay for it, well, you're in trouble now. Yeah. So, yes. So lots of things going on, lots of settlement agreements going on as well. And I think there's going to be at the moment obviously the media hasn't got quite into the changes coming in. But there are quite a few changes. So we will be on track to update all the contract templates as needed. I don't think the contract templates needed quite so much, to be honest. And handbooks for the traditional 1st of April new handbooks. And then we'll see how it goes with the 2-year and 6-month rule in 2027, because there's some things coming in there as well. But yes, so for example, paternity leave is going to be, the leave entitlement is from day one. From April, but not the pay. Whereas previously, which seems weird that it's taken so long, actually, that paternity leave was only after the first 6 months. I don't understand why they've taken so long. I don't know why they didn't change it when they did maternity leave, whenever that was, a few years ago now. But there you go. It's changed now, or will have been changed. So there you go. Yeah, if there is anything else, I've got other horror stories, but I think we'll leave it for now. I'll save them up for next week. And otherwise, we'll speak during the week, and I'll see you next week on the call.
Thanks for watching. If you want a free peace of mind call with us to discuss your policies, handbook, and any burning staff issues in your business, click the link in the description below.